Firstly, thank you to everyone for joining this student Q&A. Today we're joined by Olivia and Mark, who are heads of Student Council. We've already had plenty of questions through from those who have signed up to the webinar, so thank you in advance for those. We're going to be working our way through those during this session. If your question hasn't been answered, don't worry. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be following up with our admissions team, who will answer some of the specific ones that may be a little bit more technical, and so admissions are better placed to answer those. The session will be recorded as well, so this will be on our YouTube channel, and we'll kind of share on social media and things like that as well, if you want a bit of a recap. And if you have any additional questions throughout the session that you want to put to Mark or Olivia, do use the chat function, and if we've got some time at the end, I'll try and ask those. I think the session will take about half an hour. So without further ado, what I'll do is I'll just hand over to Mark and Olivia just to introduce themselves, what subjects they study, and I guess why they chose kind of DLD in the first instance. So over to Mark and Olivia.
So hello everyone, my name is Mark. I'm one of the heads of the Student Council. It's my first year in DLD. I'm an A-level student, first year of A-level. I'm doing media studies, economics, maths, and EPQ, extended project.
Hi, I'm Olivia. I'm a day student. I'm studying politics, psychology, and geography. I guess the best way to describe why I chose DLD is because of the freedom it gives me. I come from a school where there's a lot of restrictions on how I can address myself to teachers, how I can dress, how I can act, and this gave me the chance to become an adult. I think we get treated more like an adult, and I think that's just the best way to describe it, really.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Just for DLD, because it is a college, it's not a classical British school. I chose it because I wanted more freedom. I wanted to be treated as a young adult. I didn't want to be treated as a small child. And same here. I got it here. I'm absolutely happy that I chose the college.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Best decision ever.
Fantastic, brilliant. And so what would you say kind of on a day-to-day level at the school? What would you say it's like? What's the sort of the experience so far at DLD been like?
What is it for you?
Well, as a day student, I live around half an hour away on the train, so it is a little bit of a trek, but you know what, the school's very accommodating to that fact. Tried to get here, and then we register at 8:45 in our classrooms, or you have house meetings, which is one of the 5 houses that you're in. And then we go about our classes, got lunch at 12:45.
12:45 for us.
Yeah. And then for A-level students, you can leave whenever you're finished with your classes.
Yeah. For me, because I'm a boarder, so I'm living upstairs, exactly upstairs. It's really easy for me to anytime to go back to my room. So the atmosphere downstairs is always quite relaxed. Everyone knows each other. Everyone has friends, so it's quite easy to meet new people here. With the location, as if Olivia is a day student, I'm a boarder, so yeah, in the morning, same here. I go downstairs approximately at 8:20, I believe, and we have registration at 8:45. Before it, we have breakfasts. Yes, living in DLD, it's quite comfortable with both accommodations, location, everything.
Yeah, exactly. It's important to note with the boarding, it's, as Mark says, it's all in the same building, so it's directly above. So you have about a 40-second commute, don't you, Mark? Getting in the lift, going downstairs. So that's one of the unique parts of DLD, is everything is located within the same building on London South Bank. So it's a great location. And I guess you both touched upon it there, the balance between obviously kind of your studies and homework and that sort of stuff seems to be quite good, because you're also able to enjoy your central London location, to be able to go out and socialize and make friends.
Yeah. I think as a day student, obviously I've lived here my entire life, so I know London already pretty well. But to be completely honest, I'd never come around here, so it was quite a good opportunity to come and I don't know, just explore the city. And I think that with the work and like relaxing balance sort of thing, we're not given that much homework. We are given the amount that we can stay relevant to the topics, and that was deemed necessary. Like for politics, he tries to give us regular essays so that we are always keeping up to date, because politics is a mainly essay-based subject. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, because I live here, the district is lovely. I love it because we have places like Starbucks, Mark and Spencer, Sainsbury's, yeah, place we visit every day. We have squares, we have Big Ben right in front of the DLD. So if we cross the bridge, there's going to be a Big Ben. Different parks.
Oh yeah.
So yes, it is.
You got Archbishop's Park, just less than a 2-minute walk away.
Yeah, it's exactly a 2-minute walk from us. Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. And in terms of like the extracurricular activities, the clubs and things like that, what does the school offer, and what do you two enjoy doing?
Yeah, I'll start here. For myself, personally, because I'm a musician, in the basement we have a music studio as a CCA, so clubs after school time. We have music bands, music rehearsals. We are trying to set up new activities downstairs in the basement. Mainly, it's going to be drama or music things such as piano or, let's say, violin. Yes, vocal classes probably and hopefully. There are a lot of CCAs. Moreover, we have a gym downstairs. If we go to the basement, to another part of the basement, there is a gym with a swimming pool and sauna, a gym full of facilities. I use it a few times a week. Yeah, so there are quite a lot.
For me, some of the most important ones that I find, because I love to play netball, and there are a lot of extracurriculars that involve getting active, like boxing, netball, basketball. But then there's also ones that could help you understand your classes better. So like there's after school politics sessions, I know geography, all of that subjects, they will have extra sessions after schools, and you can keep up to date with your work. If you have any questions, you can go to them. I think it just shows that the staff here is really supportive for all of our needs.
Yeah, with sports as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, fantastic. I think there's over 50 co-curricular kind of activities and kind of clubs that DLD offers. So there really is something for everyone, depending on what your interests are. So, and you touched upon it earlier by both of you, and obviously you being a day student, Olivia, and you being a boarder, Mark. How do the day students and the boarders interact kind of socially? Is there a lot of kind of crossover between the groups?
To be honest, it's not really any different to a normal school. Everyone sees each other. You walk around and you see everyone. Like me and Mark were friends before we became heads of student council. You see everyone. It's not, there's no like separation between groups or anything like that. Yeah. Like day students don't just hang out with day students. We all kind of mix. I know a lot of my friends are boarders. Yeah. Yeah,
can't anymore.
Yeah.
This is true. Yeah, we're mixed up.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's one of the real strengths about DLD is that there is that real diversity as well. I think we've got over 50 nationalities, we've got a huge number of boarders, and then also day students, and everyone kind of mixes in, and there's that real sense of community at DLD, which I think is really nice. So I guess some of the questions moving on a little bit more to sort of classes and subjects and things like that. So we've had one just in terms of how big are the class sizes. So I know they vary a little bit, but maybe in your experience, like, what would you say kind of the smaller classes, larger classes, on kind of average?
Well, specifically, they kind of depend on the year, but roughly they're around 10 people, but they can get a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. I know my geography class has 3 people in it, so the class sizes here are really good. However, it's more likely to have a little bit bigger classes if you're looking to study for GCSEs. However, for A-levels, it roughly stays around 10 people maximum.
Sometimes not less.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And then we also had a question just in terms of do we have a library? So I mean, yes, we do have a library, but I guess if you both have anything to add on that.
I haven't used it that much. Yeah, in most cases I use my own books. But yeah, indeed, we do have a library with all the books that are related to the subjects here, such as history, philosophy, even maths, arts, yeah, whatever a student may need. There are quite a lot of books, and students are free to take them for some time, so they can borrow them for a week or two. So yeah.
Yeah, so the library is necessarily a little bit small, but that's because we're trying to be more environmentally friendly, and we provide all of the books online. So I think that's obviously, if you want a hardcover, there's a hardcover if you want it, but we're trying to be more environmentally friendly and not have as many paper books.
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, brilliant. And I think we've also got a bit of a partnership with the British Library as well. So if there are any books that we haven't got but are required, I think that we've got a relationship where we can kind of bring those in as well. So it is really kind of catered for. In terms of, I guess, both of you, because you're both heads of student council. So can you just kind of run through how the student council is kind of chosen and why you ended up kind of going into these roles?
Student council is basically the main thing. It is a leadership position of the college, yeah, because we are leaders of the school community here. We lead our mates and our peers to do different activities or to participate in some activities, yes, to help the college to improve for the future generations. Yeah, indeed, we are, I would say, as leaders for the community here.
Yeah. So in student council, you have there's several groups. So it is, I think right now there's 17 people in student council.
Yes.
There's inclusivity, and diversity, well-being, academic, sustainability, and charity and events. And then obviously there's leadership. For us, I think what we did to apply for it was just write a letter explaining why we wanted to go into this role, what we could bring to the role, more specific, of course, to which position you would want in which group. Had an interview, and then I think 2 weeks later, 2-3 weeks later, got the result, thank God.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, guys. And in terms of future students coming in, are there opportunities for them to join the student council or work with the student council in any way? Or is it a case that they have to kind of wait till they've kind of gone through their DLD journey, if you like?
It's kind of a competition.
I think it's a little bit of a competition, to be honest. Well, as of right now, because we're going to be doing 2023 and 2024, so as of right now, there's not going to be any positions available unless someone drops out of student council, because as of right now, we are at max capacity. But I think we signed up in March or February, March. We sent our applications in, and then we got the results just before Easter holiday.
We sent our applications in January, and then February.
And then we got told just before Easter holidays. So, and then that's when we started our roles as heads of school.
Yeah, fantastic, brilliant. And then in terms of obviously kind of yourselves joining DLD, and we have a number of kind of future students kind of on the court at the moment, sort of thing. So if they've got any kind of worries or concerns, I mean, I imagine you both had maybe some worries or concerns before you kind of started DLD, because inevitably going in a new school is always maybe a little bit daunting. What were your worries, and how did kind of DLD help both of you?
I mean, for me, I had been at my old school since I was like 1. So it was a completely new experience. All my friends were there, my little sister was there. I just needed to know, I knew that I needed to get a new space and be provided with a certain level of new education and new experiences, and which is exactly what DLD provided for me. I was extremely worried about meeting new people, but the school gave us multiple opportunities to get to know everyone, to get to know the teachers, to get to know our peers. Yeah, so I think as of that perspective of it, I think it was very well supported.
Yeah, I moved to the UK last year. I spent my days in Taunton school. Probably the biggest fear of mine was that I will not meet people that I share interests with. Well, luckily, fortunately, It was a possibility. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, as I know, majority of people in the college, there are plenty of interesting, lovely people here.
Yeah, brilliant, guys. And we've had a couple of questions come in. I'll address a couple of them. Just I've had one from Evelyn, just in terms of can we work after class if we're 16? I think Evelyn, that depends on the visa if you're an international student, in terms of kind of whether you can work. But what I'll do is I'll pass that across to our admissions team as well, so they can kind of pick that up and they'll come back to you and answer that one. And we've had another one from Boo, potentially for you, Mark. Just as an international student, what time did you arrive at DLD? I guess kind of rough sort of dates, if you like.
Yes, I remember I arrived this year. I arrived 29th of August. It's a few days before our classes start. And I would advise to do so because we have different team building activities, so people actually meet each other. All of them, well, majority of people who arrive a bit earlier, they're either in the student council or they are new for this college. Yes, it's just by team building activities, you will meet new people and eventually we get mixed up, so we have more friends since the beginning. Obviously, as a student council, we will be there by 30th or the 1st. I will arrive the 30th, you will arrive by the 1st. Yeah. So we will introduce ourselves to the new students, and yes, I would advise to arrive a little bit earlier.
Brilliant, fantastic. And I guess as sort of closing remarks from you both, what would your advice be to kind of potential students that are considering DLD? What advice would you give them if they're kind of contemplating whether to come here or not?
For me, the main advice I could do is like you kind of have to be realistic for yourself as to know what you want from a school. Because for me, I knew I wanted to be given some independence and freedom, and I can wear my own clothes, which is also another plus. So you kind of have to be realistic about what you want in a school, because sometimes situations change and what you want changes, and you can't always help that. Whether it be at your old school or whatever your situation is. But I think that this is a great school. I definitely do not regret coming here. So yeah. Well, Olivia is right, of course. Yeah. From my side, I would just advise for a child to be able to put a grip on himself, because the child must be able to control and be able to focus on studies, because we have a lot of freedom here and we're able, for example, to go out whenever we want, do whatever we want. So it must be important to be able to control yourself in this case.
Yeah, brilliant. I think it's as you mentioned at the start, Olivia, it's about kind of, you have a lot of independence and it's about growing as an individual and becoming those young adults. I'll kind of caveat what Mark said in that, you know, at a certain age, when you're kind of beyond 16, you can kind of go out and, you know, really kind of enjoy London. I think you do have curfews and things like that. When you're in the lower years, you do have an earlier curfew. I think it's kind of 9:30, and you have to go out at groups as well, sort of thing. So there is some structure and there is some say kind of accountability there in terms of kind of monitoring where students go and things like that. So there isn't the freedom where they can just go off and do whatever. But obviously we want them to enjoy and experience London and the great city that it is. I think it's the #1 city in the world for students. So, you know, DLD is in a prime location there. We haven't had any more questions come through. I'm going to say we're kind of 20 minutes in, so I think we'll close the webinar there. If anyone is on the call and, as I say, does think of any additional questions, do send them across to me or do inquire in terms of the admissions email, and the team will get back in touch. If we haven't answered your question in that call, as I say, our admissions team will follow up directly to answer that for you. And if you need a recap, as I say, we will be uploading this video onto DLD's YouTube channel as well. So I'd just like to thank Mark and Olivia for giving up their time today to kind of answer those questions. You know, it's very much appreciated, and I hope it's been a really useful session for everyone that's been on the call. And yeah, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Bye.